The tow truck in front of me was pulled too much, which caused the rear bridge at the bottom to deform. In order to avoid delaying the use of the tow truck, the owner of the car drove to their repair shop. The repair shop prepared to repair the rear bridge. For the damage of the rear bridge, the car was repaired by the car repair shop. After the tow truck's tail support was simply supported, the tire was quickly removed. Because this tow truck does not have a power drive, the tire was removed very quickly. Just loosen the fixed wheel nut, the 4 tires are simply removed, but the trailer is equipped with a powerless rear axle without a speed sensor and a transmission shaft. You can directly loosen the wheel, and this is the only fix point with the yellow. Although they are not convenient electrician, but the masters are not slow in removing the hand after the master loosened the support's golden top. The work of removing the rear bridge was finished, but it is obvious that the concave cracks cannot be welded directly. In order to ensure that the repair of the rear bridge does not affect its strength, the masters also need to install their 3 jumpers on the rear bridge and send them to the repair shop across the road in order to facilitate the processing of the broken parts. But because the concave part of the rear bridge will also affect its length, the repair shop also prepared the equipment for the owner and planned to replace the concave part with a complete cut. Although this kind of rear bridge has already appeared, the main purpose of the cut is to remove the whole shaft. Although the shaft is not solid, the thickness of the hole is still very thick. After the repair shop cut the shaft, the cut at the shaft is also very fast and has ended. Then, the saw blade is separated. Next, the shaft is processed. In order to make the 2 shafts meet at the same center, the master first needs to smooth the cut at the end. The edge of the joint should be cut off smoothly. After the edge is smooth, the excess part should be cut off. This will not affect the length of the joint. After the joint is successfully connected to the pivot, the joint is connected through the internal pipe, so there is no need to measure the synchronization. After the joint is simply fixed, the pivot nut is also replaced. In order to prevent the subsequent fixing of the nut, the master also used their high-quality Rowan repair teeth to retighten the damaged thread. This will ensure that the brake can be tightened normally. After confirming that there is no error, use a hard steel bar to fill the gap left by the pre-flow. Only the pre-flow is enough to make the joint more solid, and the master consumed 20 steel bars. The joint of the joint has reached the standard. In order to avoid the owner waiting too long, the rear bridge was also installed quickly, without any damage to the chassis. The rear bridge and the wheel rims were fixed. Because the owner of Pakistan does not use oil, in order to ensure that the inner shaft can be lubricated, the repair shop also applied a new layer of oil to the car. Then the tires were refixed to the rear bridge. After the shaft head nut was successfully tightened, the rear bridge of this tow truck was repaired.